Hello there, everybody. Welcome back for some more God of War Ghost of Sparta. Today, we are carrying off from the Temple of Athena. Sorry if you hear my chair. I'm still kind of getting prepared for our little adventure. I've actually been kind of looking forward to this, and I assume that, judging by the audience that I have when it comes to watching Ghost of Sparta, it seems like a lot of you might be anticipating this episode as well, which I'm going to upload it tonight. Yeah, basically December 28th. So, it should be uploaded by tonight. But anyway, I've been waiting to play this for a little bit too. I actually started recording God of War 3 for the other channel. I got 2 episodes of that finished. And yeah, I've just been in the mood for some God of War stuff, so here we go. I don't remember the name of these guys. All I know is that they have a really annoying, teleportation attack, and as you saw earlier, they can teleport. One thing that I can give credit to Ghost of Sparta is at least a lot of their enemies tend to be a bit more unique in comparison to the other God of War games, especially God of War 4. By the way, that's not really me trying to shit on God of War 4. God of War 4 is okay, but I still think Ragnarok is a lot better, just in general. I'm not the biggest fan of God of War 4, basically. Especially with Ragnarok being out. It's just one of those things. I'd rather just play that instead. But, I would also give credit to Ascension as well for at least having a different variety of enemy types, too. Considering the fact that, it came pretty much just, right after Ghost of Sparta. At least a little while after, so... Because I think the order of games was one, I think it was 1, 2, and then Chains came out, and then God of War 3 comes out, and then it was Ghost of Sparta, I believe, right after. If I'm getting my orders correct, I think that's how it was. And then after that would be Ascension, and then later down the line would be God of War 4, and what have you. And again, I'm not going to count the, canon or not, I'm not going to talk about the mobile game, the phone game, Betrayal. Mainly just because I never played it, and I'm more focused on console stuff. And I would probably have to, if I ever played it, I would have to find an emulator for it and stuff. And I know that's not exactly 100% complicated, but I make everything much more complicated than it needs to be at times. I'm better off just not worrying too much about it, personally. Besides, it might not really even be that fun. I mean, it could be, I don't know. Don't knock it till you try it. But yeah, this is a good thing to be playing right now because I'm a little bit on the upsetty side of things right now, currently. Today, I guess you could say. I'm a little bit upset at things, so it's kind of nice to just chill and play a game I actually want to play. I've been struggling all day to find something I wanted to do, and that's my biggest problem, is I tend to do that a lot. I've been watching, Dragon Ball in the background to try to also, just, have something to watch, go through it, that kind of thing. Okay, game, you didn't even give me a fucking QuickTime event. I'm currently right now in the Ginyu saga. Pretty much, I think right now, as soon as Goku's about to arrive, so that's where I left off at. I know most of what Dragon Ball is. I know pretty much most, if not all, the events. It's just that I never actually watched it from beginning to end, so that's what I'm doing. At least Z. I would like to watch the OG one, but I don't want to go buy Crunchyroll, and I'd have to go find probably the Blu-rays. I've seen some of them out in the wild before, but they weren't Season 1 and stuff. It was Season 5. I was like, fuck. I don't want to miss out, earlier seasons. I actually did read all of Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball. Which, yes, I know that basically, Z is technically Dragon Ball, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about, OG stuff. Pre, Saiyan Saga stuff, so. Sorry if nobody gives a shit, but that's just what I've been doing. When I get into moods, it's kind of hard to get me out of them sometimes. I've also been playing a lot of Tenkaichi. Because, I kind of... I didn't, have a good opportunity back then as a kid to really play it. My cousin had it, and I played with him, and I remember not liking it very much back then. But I didn't understand the complexity of a game. You know, my little child brain was not enough to understand like how actually good that game is. And now I completely understand it, and it's like, holy fuck! It's like opening another portal to like some other world I've never been to before. It's crazy. Because this year has been pretty low on terms of like fighting games for me. I can't remember like what came out off the top of my head, but I play a lot of fighting games. I think DNF Duel came out this year. I know Grand Blue Rising came out like not that long ago, but the only problem though is I don't want to buy Grand Blue Versus again because I didn't really care much for Versus. Street Fighter 6 was pretty good, like really good. So that's a thing. I'm trying to think of what else. Unist 2 is coming out next year. I played the beta for that, and it was fucking amazing. Like, I think most of what I want is coming out next year to be kind of hyped for. And then I play a game all the way, like, you know, that's like, what, made like 2005 or something? Because I had the Wii version, so. I don't know. But yeah, like, I play a game that's made pretty much for the PS2 and the Wii and all that and Xbox. And it's just insane how a game can still hold up so well from such a long time ago. I mean, I'm not exactly, like, that surprised. I mean, because, again, you look at a game like... My Let's Plays don't really show it very well, but, well, speaking of butts. But, you know, Ape Escape 2, that holds up pretty fucking well. Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, the original Crash games, especially Crash 2 and 3. You know, Spyro 1, 2, and 3. Tomb Raider to an extent, I guess, for me. I don't know. You know, like Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, like old King of Fighters and stuff, and Street Fighter 3. Like, there's always going to be games that are going to hold up, you know, the test of time. God of War, for God's sakes. Dante's Inferno. Devil May Cry, you know. The list can just go on. Like, you can almost name any game from, like, non-modern times, and you'd probably be right. I know some people like Time Splitters, which I did actually see a copy of that out in the wild. I think I found one for the Wii. I didn't buy it, but I saw it. Now, what I ended up actually doing today is I found a copy of Dynasty Warriors 4 and played that. Because I don't have any, well, I didn't have any just regular Dynasty Warrior games for PS2. I only had, like, Samurai Warriors 1 and the first Orochi game, and that was about it. And that's another fun topic to kind of get into, because why not? You know, I got something to talk about. Let's talk about stuff. Why not? I love the Warrior games, although I don't like every Warriors game. I mostly just kind of like my particular ones, and that's usually kind of ends up being what it is. I have not played the Attack on Titan game yet, at least enough to say that I've played it fully. I have tried it, because my sister owns it, and I played it one day because I was curious about something. And, you know, at the time, like, obviously it's not exactly like a Warriors game, so I'm not exactly used to it. It's more of like a hack and slash at that point. So it would have taken time to kind of actually learn it. And I was being kind of, you know, an egotistical idiot, thinking like, oh wow, I got this, I play Warriors. No, not true. But, so just kind of go over my Warriors favoritisms, because I love talking about, you know, the Warrior games. So far, like, in terms of, like, PS2 games I had, like I said, you know, I have Samurai Warriors 1, Orochi 1, and Dynasty Warriors 4. And all three are pretty good. I'm actually not that big of a fan of Samurai Warriors, to be honest with you. At least the later games. I don't really care much for 4. I don't care much for 5 either. I've beaten Samurai Warriors 5, but I don't know. It just doesn't tickle my fancy the same way that I guess Dynasty Warriors does for some odd reason. But you think it would? I think it would be. You know, with the triangle ability allowing you to pretty much just rush, like rush combos or whatever the hell it was. Like, you think that would probably, you know, be something that I would really enjoy, but it's all right. I have played Orochi 3, but I played it on PlayStation Plus. So yeah, 4 is pretty good. Orochi's pretty alright. And then, yeah, like I said, Sam Show. No, Samurai Warriors 1's pretty alright. I haven't played it in a while, though, to be fair. And then for, like, PS Triple, I don't have any PS1 ones because I don't have any of the old Dynasty Warriors. I don't have the fighting game one. For PS Triple, you know, I got, like, Dynasty Warriors 8, which, in my opinion, is my favorite Dynasty Warriors. Just in terms of, like, Dynasty Warriors. Like, it's... I have Extreme Legends. It's, like, the best, in my opinion. I've played a bit of 9 from PlayStation Plus stuff, so... What the fuck's with all the dead bodies we always, like, walk up to? There's so many people in this game that are just on rocks dead. Like, okay. Can't you just go fucking die somewhere else? Somewhere better that's not a rock? Dude, like, come on. It's generic as fuck. I know I'm supposed to take this seriously, but... it's kind of hard to, and they just keep putting them in the same places. Kratos kind of looking like a snack, you know what I mean? Anyway, so... Okay, okay. Shut the fuck up. I get it, game. You want me to feel things, but I don't. Because I'm a heartless bastard, so that's how it works. I forget what this does. Well, we'll find out. Okay, it does that. I don't remember which direction we're supposed to go into. You know what? Let's go up this thing first. Let's do that. So anyway, Dynasty Warriors 8, I love it a lot. Dynasty Warriors 7? Yeah, I have 7. That one, I remember that one being pretty good. And then, I still prefer 8. And then I have actually played 6, but I played it on PlayStation Plus, so there's that. That's it for Dynasty Warriors. Samurai Warriors, I played 4. I have 5. I played 4 through, like, you know, PS Plus stuff. I own 5, and just... it's good graphically. It looks cool and stuff. You know, it's got a lot of neat things to it, but I don't know. It just not particularly my favorite. Wait, hold on. If I remember correctly, I think we moved this thing over here first. Could be wrong, but still. Now, outside of that, you know, I don't have any like PS4 or PS5 ones, technically speaking. Outside of that, we have the Switch games, and my favorite of the Warriors franchise in general is Hyrule Warriors. I think Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is peak Warrior games. In terms of spin-offs, which actually reminds me, I completely forgot the spin-offs. So, out of all the spin-offs I have, yes, I would argue that I personally believe that Hyrule Warriors is the best one. Fire Emblem Warriors 1 is great. I haven't played enough of Fire Emblem 2, as in like Three Hopes, to really argue or say whether or not it's like really good or not. Hyrule Warriors 2, not a fan of either. It's just kind of whatever. And then I'm not a big fan of Token Rambu. I've been trying it, but I can't get into it right now. Maybe it'll get better later, I don't know, but right now it's just kind of whatever. I didn't know you can do this. Yeah, look at this new enemy type, Ice Harpies. Oh boy. Always a fun blast, huh? I'm guessing most likely, you know, fire would probably be a good weakness against them, unless you're just like me and just grab them there. Now, other PS3 games I forgot that I had is a lot of spin-offs. So let's go over them real quick, shall we? Let's start with the obvious one, One Piece. Oh boy. So, One Piece 1. Not a fan. Just never have been. I've beaten it. I've beaten all 4 of the Pirate Warriors, but just don't care too much about 1. Pirate Warriors 2 used to be my favorite. It was actually my first introduction to, like, the Warriors franchise. Great fucking game still. Holds up. Awesome. Love it. I'm glad I actually have a fucking copy, because, me and my friend we shared it digitally, because we had a shared account, and then, well, he lost that account, so I didn't have access to it anymore. But now I have my own copy, so fuck off. I can finally play the game again. It's awesome. Pirate Warriors 3 was my favorite for a bit, because I couldn't play 2. Do I think it's better than 2? Yes and no. I mean, it's a lot easier to play than 2 in terms of, like, accessibility. Like, you can find copies of it, so it's not like it's gone forever. Although I don't know if you can find copies of 2 in the wild. I mean, you probably can. Just doesn't seem like it's very often. Same thing with 1. 3 is pretty neat. Decent amount of content. I still think 2 is better, but if you want a good experience, just in general, then yeah, like 2 and 3 are your preferred methods. Not a fan of 4. I don't know, it just feels too much. Like, I don't mind the destructible building stuff, but something about the combat just doesn't feel right to me. Like, sprinting got taken away in terms of, like, some dash thing, and I just didn't care for that. Waiting for a Pirate Warriors 5, though. That'd be nice. Other spin-off ones I have the 4 Gundams. I think there's only 4, right? I think so. Gundam 1, I haven't played enough to really say, but it's one of those where it's like, it's kind of old school Warriors, where there's not a lot of enemies to fight at once. You get like maybe 100 kills per game. So if you like that stuff, that's, you know, probably up your alley. Dynasty 2, same case. Haven't played it too much. Or for Gundam 2, haven't played it too much. Gundam 3, pretty good, but right now I'm kind of getting my ass whooped and I'm still kind of stuck on things. Gundam Reborn, fantastic. Fucking amazing. It's worth it. Trust me. It's in my opinion, it's probably one of the better of the Gundams that you're going to get. Ken's Rage 1, great fucking game. Really solid. Love it a lot. Ken's Rage 2, they add a lot of stuff that actually is pretty good. Like, I forget what it was, but I think they take away a lot of stuff too. Like, combat's better, but the overall feeling of the game kind of feels... It's hard to explain, but I don't know. I guess more floaty. Again, that doesn't make any fucking sense, but there's something with it. Like, it just feels off a lot of the time. It's not that it's a bad game or anything like that. No, don't let me confuse you and think that maybe it is. Ken's Rage 2 is definitely worth it. Which reminds me, I have the Berserk game. That one's good too, especially if you like Berserk, but for me personally, I beat it and it was just kind of okay. It wasn't anything I would consider too spectacular, but I haven't actually like read all of Berserk yet, so that could probably help. If I did that. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I spent like what, the last 18 minutes talking about Warrior games? But I love those games, man. They're fun. Granted, you might not ever see me do a Let's Play of them, just mainly because, like, it would take way too fucking long to do. If I was to do a Let's Play, or if I was to do anything, it'd just be like a stream. I think I streamed One Piece 2 before, like years ago. I think so, but I don't know if you'd be able to find it on this channel. Okay, I don't know if this guy actually does damage, if he knocks you off or not, I'm not sure. Or did I just not do it well enough, who knows. Okay, well there you go. So now that we're done talking about Warrior games, I guess, for a bit, I mean, there's plenty of topics I can go into. I can say, like, what Warrior games I want to see. There was a Muso video I wanted to make a while back, which is basically Warriors, for those that are curious. That's Japanese way. That's what they call it. They call it, like, Hyrule Muso and stuff. But anyway, so I thought about making a video, like a top 10, like, what franchises I would love to see. I guess to kind of probably just go into, like, some spoiler territory. I don't know if the video will ever get made, because it's just an edited video. It takes forever for me to do stuff like that. Like, Final Fantasy, I think, would be a great Muso game. Oh, yeah, the Fate games. I forgot about those. Those are Muso, too. I have, yeah, Umbral Star, I think it was called, and then I forget the first one. It's like, it's one of the extras, the, Fate Extra, or Extella, games. It was like Link and something else. I think Umbral Star was the first one. That was pretty alright, and then I remember the second one being, I think I remember liking that one better. Not just because Astolfo was in it, but, other reasons. I forget why, but I can't remember. I think it's good. That much I can say for sure. They're both relatively decent games. The first one's a little bit more kind of... kind of has like a bit of an indie feel to it, I guess, but it's good nonetheless, still, I would argue. Or if I can use magic on him. Yeah, okay. My problem using magic is you kind of get stuck in that. Well, you get stuck using magic. And that's never good. Oh yeah, you can't fly in this one. I'm getting kind of used to playing God of War 3 again, so... Bad habits just, you know, never die young, I guess. But yeah, Final Fantasy would be kind of cool. Honestly, for me, I would like to see Dragon Ball get it. I know, like, Kakarot kind of did a thing that was Warriors-like, or Musou-like, but... No, I want, like, a full-on Musou. I think it could work. You could probably do, like, a Tales of, you know... Maybe if you tried hard enough, maybe a My Hero one, I don't know. For a while, I kind of thought Kill la Kill could work, because, I mean, you know, you got the clothing enemies that you fight. And there's, like, groups of them. And technically speaking, you know, you can make almost anything Musou if you try hard enough. Just, if it doesn't make any sense, that's fine. Just make it like an alternate world thing, kind of like what One Piece 2 did, where it's just not based on the manga. Which is weird, because both 1, 2, and... Okay, no. 1, 3, and 4... are all actually based on, like, you know, the actual story. But for some fucking reason, 2 has, like, just this weird snail story thing going on, and I didn't like it, to be honest. Fucking A. This is a really weird one, but just to kind of throw it out there. I know I said it's going to be done talking about Warrior stuff, but I keep going. I love that shit a lot. I love hack and slash games, man. Just is what it be. I would love to see, like, a PlayStation All-Stars... Musou or something. That'd be kind of cool. But, unironically, like, or Smash. Unironically, since we're on the topic about PlayStation All-Stars, I would love to see a PlayStation All-Stars 2, but I want to see it more of like a 2.5D fighting game. Like, we don't have to make it a platform fighter, but just make it like, I don't know. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, I guess. Have NRS make it. Although, to be honest, I'd rather just have maybe a different company make it, but I feel like if anyone's going to do it, it would probably be, you know, NetherRealm. And as much as I'd rather not... I'd rather that not happen, because I'm not the biggest Mortal Kombat fan, but, you know, it makes the most sense, I guess, so... When it comes to Mortal Kombat, I'm actually not a fan of 11, to be honest with you. I just don't care too much for it. 9's good. The original trilogy's good. You know, they're cool games. Not something I whip out all the time, but they're pretty cool games. I can barely fucking play Armageddon because my fucking PS2 won't let me. I don't have Deception. 9's great. 10 was pretty fun back in the day. And then... I haven't played 1 yet. I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1 yet. Not the new one. I kind of want to, because it looks pretty good. Like, it looks like it's got a lot of cool stuff, like air combos and shit, and it's got Omni-Man in it, so, like, that's a win for me. I kind of like my evil villain superheroes. I tend to kind of like them a lot. Yeah, these fucking Harpies suck. I mean, granted, most of the time, Harpies just, you know, a singular grab is just enough to kill them anyway. Like, that's not technically new, but... Yeah, they're pretty bad. Also, these guys kind of make a return from 2, if you remember. These little dog things. They kind of remind me of the boars from 2. It's not exactly them, but it's pretty close. So I would argue, you know, practically about the same thing, I guess. God damn it, I gotta fight a lot. Well, I better get a lot of goddamn orbs from this. Like, a lot of orbs from this shit. I swear. I swear to cock. Yeah, let's talk about hack and slashes, shall we? Platinum Games was great for like a while, and then they stopped being great for a while. That was just a fun little time. Again, if I say I don't like something, that doesn't mean that you guys can't like it or anything like that. Don't take it to heart. I'm just telling you what I like and don't like, and that's about it. So, yeah, I used to be a pretty big Platinum Games fan. Hell, I was an Insomniac Naughty Dog Platinum Games fan, and then that stopped pretty fast. With Naughty Dog, it stopped after Uncharted 3. Well, no, it stopped after Last of Us 1. I think Last of Us 1 was, in my opinion, the better of the the last of, you know, Naughty Dog being good, I guess. I technically haven't played Last of Us 2, but I've seen enough about it to just know, like, I might not. I mean, maybe the gameplay's okay, but there's just too much going on in that story that it just pisses me off. That's the thing with Uncharted 4. One sec, I just need... Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully that didn't pick up my mic, but yeah, I had a bit of a sneeze coming on there. I wonder if somebody's talking about me or something. And now I'm yawning because I'm fucking tired. Yeah, you know, I didn't play anything like pre-Crash Bandicoot, but, you know, I loved Crash. I loved Jack. I loved Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Don't really care much for Golden Abyss. And then don't really care much for 4 or even Lost Legacy. And then for Insomniac, you know... Sorry. I didn't play Disruptor, but I played, you know, Spyro. I love Ratchet. Fuse was okay. I haven't beaten Fuse yet, but that's a game that I think everybody forgets about. I remember when Spider-Man came out, and I liked it a lot. And then I just tried playing it again. I'm like, okay, I don't like this game anymore. I'm not a fan of, like, open world, or... I don't know. Open world to an extent. Like, sometimes it just bothers me. I guess if anything's to go on, I'm still not like a big Arkham City fan, so that would probably... Sorry. That would probably explain a lot of that. Okay, that's the thing. I'm also not a big Assassin's Creed guy either. But I haven't played enough of them to really say. I know Black Flag's pretty good, because I played that, and I actually liked it. Didn't beat it, but, you know, I liked it enough to say, like, yeah, it's pretty good. I remember playing Brotherhood's multiplayer. That was pretty fun. Back in the day. Oh, God. Oh, God. I wonder what power we're going to get from her, huh? Yeah, spoiler alert. There you go. You can probably guess. Fucking come on. Stop, dude. You guys are not that tough. Stop. By the way, she's a bitch on God mode, though. I mean, of course she is. Everybody's a bitch on God mode. God mode on this game is actually reasonably kind of hard. Or at least hard enough to where, like, I could say, yeah, it's good difficult. Well, okay, you know what? It's actually a bit more balanced than most. I remember bringing that up before, but yeah, it's not the most well balanced, but it's hard. I can tell you that. This and Ascension both, I just don't like playing on very hard very much. Or even, I don't really like playing God of War 3 on very hard anymore either, to be honest with you. I know it's kind of sad to say that as soon as I'm doing a guide for it, but I'm just being honest. I've kind of lost my feeling for God of War 3. Just don't feel it anymore. It's an okay game, you know, it's not like it's bad. It just be what it be. God damn it. So anyway, so yeah, with Platinum Games, you know, I like some of their Clover Studio stuff before they became Platinum. Like, I love God Hand. Deal with Joe's pretty cool. I'm not the biggest Okami fan, to be fair and honest. That's another thing. I haven't exactly gotten to a point where I can say I like it yet. I haven't played it enough to really say. But in terms of, like, Platinum Game stuff, like, you know, Bayonetta 1 and 2, fantastic. Don't care much for 3, though. You're starting to see a pattern, aren't you? Transformers Devastation, fucking awesome game. Love it a lot. And then, of course, like, Astral Chain was okay. I remember, like, getting to a point where it's like, okay, this is actually pretty alright. At first, I didn't even like the TMNT game. At first, I fucking despised TMNT. Mutants Manhattan, I think it was called. But after a while, I kind of just started to kind of like it a bit. And I was like, okay. I mean, it's got good music, that's for sure. And of course, you can't go wrong with Metal Gear Rising. That's fucking awesome. The core game, also pretty okay. I beat it like once. Never beat it on hard, but just beat it, you know, beat it once, and that was about it. And thought it was pretty alright. Nothing I would say like is too bad. You know. I'm just not like a Korra guy, so... Okay. I wouldn't probably care enough about just characters or story. It'd just be more so like the gameplay itself. What other fucking Platinum games are there? I mean, they made Mad World, so that was a good game. That's technically on my list of Let's Plays I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, you're supposed to press X. You're supposed to hold it. Now this bitch is gonna... Ooh. Anarchy Reigns... I'm kind of middle of the road on that one. I never got to play the multiplayer, which I heard was pretty good, so... Oh yeah, we gotta do this. I think I remembered. Kind of miss these things from God of War 2, to be honest. I mean, I know we're doing it, like, literally, like, right here. But I kind of, you know, miss it a bit. From God of War 2. Because those sections were pretty cool. Are we done? If I remember correctly, I think we gotta do this again. But I might be misremembering things. Maybe it just took me so goddamn long to do it on hard, on like very hard, that I might have accidentally thought we'd do it twice. That's always a plausibility. Fuck, why am I forgetting Platinum games? I never got to play Infinite Space, but I'm mostly focusing like on the hack and slash stuff. Give me them booty cheeks. Because you didn't wipe your ass today. And you stinky. I'm going to wipe it for you. New power-up basically allows us to, well, suck. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Send it out. People, they lose life essence, and there you go. Actually, you know what? Fuck talking about, Platinum games. Let's talk about, like, good hack and slash games, and also like good God of War clones. But technically, okay, so DMC obviously started that. You know, if it wasn't for Resident Evil, we wouldn't have DMC. If it wasn't for that other game that Resident Evil was kind of inspired by, we probably wouldn't have that either. So let's just focus on like the main hack and slash. Like, you know, we got the DMCs. You know, we love DMC 1. I love DMC 1. Most people aren't a fan of 2. I know my brother doesn't mind 2. I don't mind it either. I just... Not like, I'm not very particularly a fan. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it, you know, or anything like that. I wouldn't like defend it with my life, but it's okay for what it's worth. So that's something to say, I guess. It's a fine game if you want to play it. DMC 3, you know, pretty much almost I think everybody's favorite in terms of DMC games. I think it's a pretty solid game, especially on Switch, where you can actually have the ability to switch between every weapon and not just have to carry 2. At a time, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice little upgrade for that. Unfortunately, it's only on Switch for that, but hey, take what we can get, I guess. Yeah, I still love DMC 1. It may be archaic, but it's still one of my favorites, honestly. DMC 4, still a pretty good game. Not a fan of the levels, and not a fan of the backtracking, and just not a fan of the story, but it introduced me to Nero, so that was something. And that was cool. And then, DMC 5, you know, also pretty goddamn good game. But I have the same problem I had with DMC 4. I don't really care much for the levels, but... I care about the levels and environments more so like in DMC 1 and 3 than I do in 4 and 5. But I'd be hard-pressed to say, you know, 5 didn't have at least some cool stuff in it. And the DMC Reboot I like, but... the story's kind of dumb, but other than that, you know, gameplay is pretty nice. And then, of course, you know, we got the God of Wars. But, we already know my feelings on God of War. We don't really talk about that too much. But in terms of God of War clones, Ghost Rider is decent. You get to play Blade, which is pretty cool. And then Dante's Inferno was also pretty goddamn solid. There's this one game, I think it's like... I forget what the fuck it's called. It's something in the Mask. Marlon Brando? Fuck, I don't remember his name. I honestly don't remember the name of it, but it's okay. The Wolverine X-Men Origins game is fine. A bit too, the chapters are way too long, though. It takes like an hour to beat each chapter. An hour or so. Try doing a guide for like an hour, like commentary for like a whole hour on that. Of just mostly repetitive stuff. I never played Thor, I never played Green Lantern. I'm trying to think of anything else that might be like a God of War clone. If we're talking about DMC clones, I mean, well, obviously, you know, that'd be something like quote-unquote Bayonetta, quote-unquote Metal Gear Rising. Isn't there a chest over here, or did I get it already? I'm gonna assume that I probably got it already. Shit. Wasn't there like a Transformers game that tried being kind of like a God of War game, but I don't know. So now I'm getting my hack and slash games mixed up. Now I keep thinking everything's a God of War clone. Marlo Briggs, I think that's what it's called, and the Mask of Death, I think. It's alright. I found that game through Big Benedict, of all people. I'm not a fan of him as a person, but, you know, I don't mind his content sometimes. At least when it's, you know, uploaded, not deleted every 5 seconds. That shit gets fucking old. Pretty fast. Hold on. What's over here? Nothing. I'm sure there's plenty more that I just, for some reason, cannot think of right now. Well, I guess since I... Well, yeah, we gotta do this section. So basically, all you gotta do is just wait for him to strike. Usually strikes like twice. And then you gotta hit him. Come on, you douche. Ow. Oh, fuck, cheater. Don't fucking sand in my eye. Like the little asshole you are. Yeah, I can't think of any other, like, God of War clones on top of my head. But I'm sure there was, like, a lot. Because God of War was kind of big for a bit there. I mean, I've heard people say Asura's Wrath is a God of War clone, but no, not really. I can see it, but not enough. I was going to bring up, actually, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1 is pretty good. I'm not a fan of 2, though. Although I don't think most people probably are, but I don't know. I just don't like... Just don't care for the weird floatiness of it. But I like the first Lords of Shadow because it kind of feels a little bit more closer to like God of War does. Which, by the way, all because a game is like a clone of something doesn't necessarily mean that's bad. It just depends on like how well you produce it. It's kind of the same thing with YouTubers. Like I hate when, you know, fucking YouTubers need to take like that same idea from somebody else and then mold it to pretty much just be the same fucking thing. They don't do anything unique with it. They just fucking take the same formula and just do it themselves. For like shitpost and memes, that's one thing, but I don't know. I wonder who those two could possibly be.
Whoever controls the marked wall controls the fate of Olympus.
Yeah, nice try. I swear, young Kratos, I can't stand it. Speaking of father, isn't technically Ares supposed to be the brother of Zeus and not the son of Zeus? Much kind of how, like, in the Marvel Thor movies, where, like, Hela is, like, the daughter of Odin, but she's supposed to be, like, I don't know, a daughter of Loki or something? So that's how he got that scar. Oh. To be fair, if I was Kratos in that situation, I'd be pretty fucking livid too. Stealing my only brother away from me.
Deimos, I will find you.
Soon, Kratos, in like the next couple of hours we will. But first we gotta leave Sparta. Unless it's like an illusion of it.
This way, my lord.
Sometimes it kind of begs the question. I mean, granted, this is a prequel, so this is technically before, I guess, you know, Sparta gets fucking wrecked anyway. Okay, game. You're being kind of weird. Why are you making me walk? Why can't I just do things? Alright, so... I think now would be probably a good time to end it. I know it's like 40 minutes in, but... I think this would be a good stopping point for it. I'm going to record like another one right after this, because I got space for it. Why not? I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun playing God of War Goes to Sparta, so, you know, why not, right? Anyway, we're going down to the jails. There's going to be like a boss fight thing coming up, so I will see you guys then. And as always, take care, everybody.